Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Lone Oak Farm and welcome back to episode number 28 here. Good morning to you all. This is Grizzly Bear Sims, of course, and welcome to my channel. As we had indicated in perhaps the last episode, or maybe the episode even before that, we had talked about the possibility, and it was kind of just a possibility at that particular point in time, to essentially convert our two grass fields that we had, which we had just cut a few episodes ago, fields number 33 and fields number 41, convert these into something else other than grass for next year's harvest. And it might be something like a winter wheat or a winter canola, something of that nature. Right now, we have just simply plowed this, and we are now Billy Bob is in the process of cultivating that, and we are still working over here on this particular portion of the grass field, plowing this up and turning this grass and everything under. So as it stands right now, we still have some grass meadows. Should we want to not plow them up, I think if we bring up our larger map view here, we still have field number 39, which is over in the southwest portion, and we still have fields 34 and 35, which are kind of down behind the farm, down over there, kind of in the bottom is what I was calling that. So let's get rid of that and that. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I hope everyone had a wonderful and very magical Christmas. It is in the real world. It is Boxing Day. It is Boxing Day here in the U.S. I know that for my American viewers, you may not know about Boxing Day. You may not know what it is. My viewers, not my boxers, but my viewers in the UK, Australia, etc., will know about Boxing Day. Basically, it's the day after Christmas, the 26th of December, and it is early in the morning. I am off, as I had said, I think before, I'm off until the 2nd of January. So I'm off, I think, something like 9 days, 10 days, something like that. And that is just fantastic. I will not sugarcoat that at all. It has been such a stressful and hectic, excuse me, it has been such a stressful and hectic period the last few weeks, especially, that both my wife and I were seriously looking forward to what we call winter break. Is what our company calls this time period where most of us are actually forced to take vacation. Let's kind of call it what it is. Um, we are more or less forced to take this. This started a couple of years ago. Let me take a drink of coffee here. Um, yeah, probably this is maybe our fourth or fifth year where we've had to take this time period off. And the very first time that it occurred, it caught both my wife and I quite by surprise, because it just so happened that it began the same year in which my wife and I had visited Belgium that previous summer, Belgium and the UK. And the way that my wife and I would always manage our vacations is we typically go to Belgium every other year, and we would kind of carry our vacation over. And the other year that we didn't go to Belgium, she and I would kind of do something here at home, either go up to Estes Park for Rocky Mountain National Park for an extended weekend, maybe 4 or 5 days, something like that. And so it just so happened that we were planning that particular year. We were obviously planning to work during winter break, work the week between Christmas and New Year. There's not a whole lot of work for me to do per se, but it's a good time for me to get things organized for the new year. It's a good time for me to spend a bit of time, you know, doing, updating some of my instructional documentation, stuff like that. And so, I mean, it's not a goof off period at all. It's just kind of a nice time not have a whole lot going on. But anyway, my company made the decision, in their infinite wisdom, they made the decision that, because there isn't a whole lot going on this particular time of year, that they would basically force everyone to take their vacation, um, that were somewhat non-essential. Now I'm in an IT role, but because I'm in management, and because my roles are not necessarily geared to the day-to-day stuff per se. I do get involved in some projects and stuff, but projects pretty much in this time of year as well. That I am sort of classified non-essential, and so therefore I don't need to work. But anyway, as you can tell here, we're changing the shape of this field back here, because obviously we have planted some things back here, and by planted I mean position placed. We've got our mixing station, we've got our straw and our hay stacks there, and so this field, this sort of dog leg portion of the field, came out here, as you can kind of tell, about here, and so we have chosen not to take all this in. We also position this silo, this fermenting silo down. Oops, I set that plow down. I'm gonna have to come and fix that, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist for how that looks. But anyway, we've decided to change the look of this field just a little bit, and so as a result, I'll have to change the courseplay course for it as well. But anyway, what we decide to put back here, I do not know at this particular point in time. We're going to be very, very close, and I think that regardless of what we need to do next, most likely the next thing that you're going to see, what will most likely be showcased in episode number 29, which will be the very next episode that you see after watching this one, is we will start a harvest. We will be ready for a harvest come one way or the other. We'll basically be ready. We may just off camera fast forward, take care of the animals and everything, and then basically be at a position where we can basically start harvesting corn, and that's what we will do. And then most likely that is what we will be doing throughout the next several episodes. I don't know if I'm going to showcase every. I know I will not showcase every second of the harvest. Obviously, I want to show you all getting started on the corn harvest. I want to probably show you wrapping up the corn harvest, so that may be 2 episodes right there. And then, of course, I'm going to want to show you the cotton harvest whenever that comes. That may come before, and there again, it may come after the soybean harvest and start of that stuff. So let me get a screenshot here, because I always forget to get these, and I like to have these just to kind of make the thumbnail look correct and accounted for. So let's see. Let's drop that. There we go. So most likely this field will be this, and the other one that used to be grass will most likely be wheat or something like that, maybe canola. We'll figure that out. Obviously, planning appropriately is going to help us not only be more productive, but also be better on the budget. Because, for example, we're going to want to take some straw off of the field when we harvest it for wheat, and if we don't have to transport that straw in the form of bales very far, then obviously that's better for us. That's better use of our diesel and time and all that stuff. So these were perfect fields for wheat and or canola, and I mean, right over there they were. And of course, these were perfect fields for grass, because we also didn't have to transport the hay bales very far, or the grass to silage and everything very far. So we'll be keeping those things in mind, and most likely our grass field, one of our two grass fields, or maybe both of our grass fields, will be over there, where our wheat fields were, where our canola and what now is soybeans. So those will be over there. That way we don't have to transport, because it doesn't make any sense to put the grass fields way back, or put them in fields that are so big, because obviously come next year we're going to also want to maximize the our sell profitability and everything, and most likely we'll probably rotate the corn. What was planted as corn in the spring, will probably position soybeans there, and what was soybeans in the spring, we will most likely position corn there. Rotate those two crops around, and see just what happens. But if we're going to, and it could be I could change my mind, and I could say that maybe for next year we want to maximize cotton. Maybe next year cotton will be our king crop. It kind of depends on how well it does this year, because obviously cotton's not really grown in this part of the world as much as it's grown in other places in the U.S. But if we're successful with it, and if we get some good buyers and everything around it, then obviously it could become one of those things that is a benefit to us to grow and to dedicate not only our existing fields, but also look at how we invest our money and everything going forward. Now, speaking of that, off camera, maybe during a part of episode number 27, I think it were, we delivered canola. I think most of that episode we had either Billy Bob or Jack was just making the circuit, running our 60,000 liters worth of material to the grain point, or to the sell point and back, just over and over and over. And not only that, but we also paid off the 200,000 plus loan that we had borrowed to kind of get that other field purchase that we wanted to go ahead and stick soybeans on for this season. We did that way back in like episode 25 or 24 or something like that. And so we now owe nobody. Everything that we have is now ours, and as a result of that, we've got $415,000 in the bank. Now we have to our equipment, our extra equipment that we're going to be using for the harvest has not arrived. It is here in the local area. It's down at the dealership, and the dealership will be delivering it out to us. That's all part of the deal. And part of the whole thing is that we're going to be demoing it. We're going to be, trying it out and everything. There's no expectation whatsoever on us having to purchase it. We are going to be paying a percentage to the dealership for the use of it, because that is only fair. And of course, we will have to cover the cost of the fuel and everything. But so it'll more or less kind of be almost like a rental or a lease type arrangement, where we'll be getting this equipment and getting the use out of it. But it's going to be a major benefit to us, because we have so much to harvest. And I'm just going to come back through here, and I'm going to fix this little wobble that I put in there, just simply because I want to, and hopefully I don't create a bigger wobble in the process. So my guess is that even though I'm coming back on this quite far and I'm wobbling, oh well, probably should have just left it alone. My guess is that a portion of this, that's fine. A portion of this area that I've even just plowed, I would say something like from where the back of the plow is back, is probably going to be landscaped and is probably not going to be part of the field. There is a possibility that that may even come up this far. Um, I suppose there's even a possibility that I could just say the heck with it, and that I could just say the heck with it and bring it on up further up this way as well. And what my thought process is basically to create, extend our yard just a little bit. You know, if if we continue to be successful, we're going to have some more equipment, not a whole lot more equipment, but some more equipment. Plus, it would give us the opportunity to keep our plow and our cultivator and everything um, under shed. Maybe also keep our semi and our tipper trailers under shed. And so some of that will probably be used for that. And of course, we will pay for those improvements and everything um, from our proceeds that we have essentially made um, from from the sale of everything that we've got. Now, speaking of that, we have in storage, we still have the majority of our wheat. We're going to hold on to the wheat. We sold all the canola. The canola is gone. We don't have any soybeans left, and we don't have any corn left. So we're going to be starting from scratch. We do have some. I think this is oats, and then we have some barley. We'll probably just get rid of both of those as well. Just go ahead and move those on out and be done with it. But in any event, we'll just place this right here because for right now we are done plowing. We're done plowing until I would say until most likely until after the harvest because we're not going to waste. I don't think we're going to waste time on trying to get fields prepped and turned around until after the harvest is done. Because keeping in mind, we're going to have the daily costs of the leasing the equipment and everything. We're going to come out here and see how Billy Bob's doing. We're going to have those costs. He's getting on quite well, isn't he? We're going to have those costs that are going to be reoccurring, but we're also going to have the labor costs and everything because we're going to basically increase our headcount as far as labor is concerned. So Billy Bob and Jack will not be the only. Um, oh, he's done. That's why this field looks so good. They're not going to be the only laborers that we're going to have here. So we're going to have other people working. We're going to have those costs. If we need to, after the harvest is done, if we need to basically have, let's look at our cotton because it's looking quite nice. If it looks like we're going to need some extra folks to help us do some fall tilling, maybe if we're going to plant a cover crop on some of these fields, then we'll cross that bridge when we basically come to it. How is our cotton? Our cotton is ready to harvest. Wow. Okay, well, it was not when I started this episode, but it doesn't take a lot of time before this will switch over. So this is looking good. So we're going to be harvesting this. Let's take a look at our corn because I have a feeling it is also going to be, it's still growing. Okay, but we can tell that it is getting dry. Um, let's see let's just see just how, if this will tell us how dry our cotton is. Nope. We'll point it at this. So we are at, what is that? 9% humidity. 9% humidity. So that is very close. That is very close to being ready to come down. So yeah, I don't have to do a whole lot of fast forwarding, I suppose, to be ready to go. I think that, I think that either in this game day or the next game day, the corn's going to be ready to go. The cotton's ready to go now. So there is the high feasibility that what we will do is we will definitely start doing some cotton planting or some cotton harvesting on episode number 29. And then we'll just see how things go from that point forward. Now, what I was saying is just to reiterate as I stop course play here. Um, if we need some extra help, then obviously we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Um, there is a possibility that we will need some extra hands just to help us get, because obviously the race against time, our main focus is get the crops off the fields, because we could have an early I'll just fix these spots here in the middle. We could have an early frost, early snow, something like that. We could have rain, which would not be fun at all. So there are things that could come along and slow us down, or even potentially risk the harvest. So those are the focus areas. After we get the harvest in, if we're successful and can get all of it in, as I often say, um, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, then our other sort of race against time is to get the field work that we want to get done before the ground freezes, because that it becomes very hard, very difficult on our equipment, and there's no need in tearing things up just for the sake of having to have Jack repair everything. So we will use some better judgment and better planning and everything. And that's what I mean, that if we need to have some extra people to help with that, then that's what we will do. However, at the same time, we're going to try to get the focus is get the stuff off the fields in due course, and then get going. So with that in mind, it's about 21 minutes. I'm not going to start harvesting that cotton right now. Let's just bring up our field view maps one more time here and take a look at these things. So wow, these soybean fields are ready to harvest. Now this is cotton 50. What is field number 50? I can't remember now. That is soybeans. So our soybeans are going to be coming in first this time around. Interesting. I would have thought that the corn would have beat the soybean, but remember, we planted these soybeans soon after we planted these corn. So we've got 42, 45, and 43 are corn that we planted the first go around. Then we planted 49, 50, 53, 54 of soybean. Then we harvested the wheat and the canola on these fields, and then we turned around and put soybeans back here, and then down here on field number 51, and also over here on field number 38, which is a leased field that we have purchased from this gentleman here, or that we used from that gentleman. So it looks like we're going to be able to basically do cotton and do soybeans on these fields at the same time. These will come in when they come in. So I need to basically go in and call the store and let them know that we're going to be ready to start harvesting ASAP, essentially, next episode. Let them know that and let them get their equipment out here, because yeah, we're going to be ready to go. We're going to be ready to do this, and we need the equipment, the staffing, the help. That's all lined up. That's all lined up. We've actually had those individuals sort of on the ready, at the ready, so to speak, because what a lot of this extra help is from, as far as where the help is coming from, are employees from some of these other farms around here that were hard hit by that late season frost snow that we had back in the spring, because they all got the jump on getting their fields planted. That we sort of took the more conservative approach to it, and didn't get hit as hard, but they lost a lot of stuff. And so these are generally employees that they use, which we're going to be hiring for combining, for tractor tipper operation, as well as a couple of truck drivers. So that's going to be how it's all going to work. Plus Jack is going to be his main focus throughout this harvest season, as he will help as best as he can. But because we're going to need to do things like, we're going to have to refuel vehicles, we're going to have to do some maintenance most likely here and there, his main focus is going to be to keep our equipment running, and so his time in a tractor or in a combine or whatever will be somewhat limited. He'll do some support roles and such, probably some tractor tipper stuff, or maybe driving the trucks. He will not be running a combine or anything because he may have to stop that and go and fix something that Billy Bob breaks, or that I break, or anyone breaks. I mean, stuff is just going to happen. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, really, I'm going to start wrapping this episode up, and I hope you all have had a wonderful Christmas break. And let's see, you're going to be watching this episode on Monday. I'm not sure what the date is on Monday. I think it would be the 30th, because New Year's Eve is on the 31st, and then obviously New Year's Day is on the 1st, on Wednesday. So that's how that's going to lay out. I don't know if you're going to get a video on New Year's Day or not. We'll just kind of see how much I get done during the break, and how much I can kind of get video work done, and get those videos and everything edited and uploaded and all that good stuff. So anyway, until then, I'm babbling. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I think we're at about 25, 26 minutes, something like that. And we will, I'll get this field cultivated off camera, and then basically be ready to start harvesting, and probably start that video process maybe tomorrow. I've been down here in my basement for a couple of hours, just fiddling around and everything, and I need to get upstairs and spend some time with my wife, because that's what we enjoy doing this time of year, is watching movies and spending time with each other and everything, and relaxing. So until then, God bless you all. Take good care of yourself and also of each other. I will see you all back here for another episode very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.